Japan, a land of elegant natural beauty, governed by 4 distinct seasons. On this journey, we discover the sights, sounds, and tastes of autumn and winter. From the heart of Japan's enigmatic wildlife to ancient traditions and seasonal delicacies. The autumn and winter months offer a feast for the senses. September in Japan hails the start of autumn. The waking season brings with it a fresh palette of colors. This natural spectacle is known in Japan as koyo. Colder weather kills off green light-absorbing chlorophyll to reveal the alluring tint of autumn. For around 20 days, this natural masterpiece will grace the nation's forests. While the autumnal spectacle shines, another wild resident is just returning. The Pacific salmon. These huge fish have been surviving in the vast Pacific Ocean and are now migrating back to their freshwater origins. The salmon's entire journey here on in is upstream. They've spent up to 3 years in the ocean in preparation for this moment, growing to a hefty 6 kilos. The returning salmon has one aim: spawning the next generation. All their energy from a life at sea is stored within their fat and muscles. Such is their dedication to spawn. They cease feeding during the freshwater leg of their journey. Using incredible homing instincts, females push ahead to find the exact stream of their birth. With spawning beds dug out, this is the moment of truth. The males have arrived, and courting starts in earnest. When conditions are just right, eggs and sperm are released in unison. They must work in perfect harmony to ensure fertilization is a success. Each female can lay up to 4,000 eggs during the spawning season. They will take a couple of months to hatch, with nothing but a nutritious yolk sac for the developing salmon within. As for the adults, their job is done. Completely exhausted and starved of food, almost all of those that have spawned pay the ultimate price. The cycle of life continues on, with another species heading in the opposite direction to the salmon. In the Kozagawa River, sweetfish must travel downstream to spawn. For many, this is a seasonal gift they eagerly await. In preparation for the migrating fish's arrival, nets are tactically set in the river. But the real work does not start until the sun goes down. These fishermen are masters at the art of a traditional fishing method called hifuri. A cedar tree torch, wielded by a skilled operator, scares the migrating sweetfish into the tactically placed nets. The two must work in tandem to drive their prey in the right direction. Hifuri is an ancient tradition passed down from generation to generation since 1868. Full nets show that the unique fishing method can still yield impressive hauls. The nighttime catch is a commodity for past masters of the art of hifuri. 80-year-old Eiko Higashi was once an expert torch-wielding fisherman, but has since turned her hand to cooking the versatile fish. To preserve the freshly caught catch, Eiko uses a traditional method of skewering whole fish and slowly cooking them over charcoal for hours. Each sweetfish is then dried by the wind to finish the preserving process. The rich taste and aroma of the sweetfish make it a staple during the autumn months and can be made into a whole range of different dishes. After the hot summer, many crops are finally ready for harvest. In the Hiroshima prefecture, the small coastal town of Yoshiura is preparing for a festival. Perched next to the Seto Inland Sea, the ocean has provided an autumn gift: blue crabs. On the first Sunday of October, this town honors the seasonal food. For these young residents of Yoshiura, preparations for the celebration start early. They are to be transformed into divine servants. Once the transformation is complete, they are forbidden from touching the ground. Each boy boards their district's float, As divine servants, their job is to play the drums and keep a constant beat. They're not alone. As the festival gets into full swing, many more floats join the parade, including the divine beast. To show their appreciation to the gods for the year's harvest, the floats carried up hundreds of stairs and are heaved side to side right to their very tipping point. Even during the most frantic of moves, the boys must maintain a constant beat. Celebrations for the year's yield will continue throughout the day. Autumn sees much of Japan's foliage lose its summer bloom. But the season does hold its own unique beauty. In contrast to many plants, the equinox flower waits until October to reveal its true splendor. This magical moment happens after the first rainfall of the month. It's not just the equinox flower displaying a seasonal extravaganza. Rolling fields turn a shimmering gold as pampas grass takes on its most dramatic appearance. To complement the elegant sights of autumn, the season also brings a sweet melody. The autumnal tune rings out throughout rural Japan and is orchestrated by one of the nation's smaller residents, the bell cricket. The unassuming insects create the harmonic ringing by rubbing their forewings together. Such is the Japanese people's love for the bell cricket's call, the musical insects are traditionally kept in bamboo cages, so their rhythmic sound can be enjoyed at home. On the 15th day of the 8th month of the traditional Japanese lunar calendar, rice dumplings are prepared in anticipation of the autumn full moon. "15 dumplings are made to symbolize the 15th night. The spectacular phenomenon is enjoyed with the calming song of the bell cricket. Perhaps the greatest autumn spectacle is saved for Japan's largest and most iconic landmark, Mount Fuji. When the sun aligns perfectly with the mountain, a rare and awe-inspiring phenomenon takes place. The Diamond Fuji. With both the sun and Fuji being sacred in the Shinto religion, this moment is an auspicious event. The autumn season is a spiritual time throughout the nation. To the west of Japan's Honshu Island is its largest peninsula, the Kii Peninsula, which hosts a network of ancient pilgrimage trails called the Kamano Kodo. The historic pathways were once reserved for emperors and samurai. But in the mid-century, the practice became popular amongst normal people when the Buddhist religion spread across Japan. The journey through some of the nation's most mystical landscapes is a time to reflect on the beauty of nature. To this day, pilgrimages are made to Kamano's 3 shrines. This ancient tradition dates back over 1,200 years. To accompany its spiritual events, autumn has another gift: persimmons. The seasonal fruit must first be peeled before being hung on bamboo racks. Picked just before they fully ripen, the persimmon will dry under the autumn sun and wind, becoming sweeter the longer they are dried. After around a month, crystallized sugars adorn the orange fruit. The end product is sweet, fleshy, and chewy, a favorite autumnal treat in Japan. In the center of Honshu Island is the mountainous region of Jiko Kudani. Here, November has made way for December and hailed the start of Japan's winter months. Temperatures begin to drop to as little as -15 degrees Celsius. Despite the hostile conditions, Japanese macaques survive here. Other than humans, they are the most northerly primate on the planet. To make it through the coldest months, the adaptable monkeys take advantage of Jiko Kudani's unique geological feature: thermal springs. Warmed by the Earth's crust, these waters are the perfect place to escape the bitter bite of winter. Jiko Kudani's bathing monkeys are the only known macaques to take regular dips in thermal springs. It is believed the distinctive behavior first started in the 1960s, when one inquisitive infant copied human bathers and took a plunge into the warm waters. Ever since, the trait has been passed down from generation to generation. As well as fighting off the cold winter months, it is believed bathing can even lower the macaque's stress levels. A spot of grooming further strengthens social bonds and keeps the monkey's hygiene levels at the highest standard. Away from the resting macaques sits the coastal prefecture of Ishikawa. Here, the Shatashuso brewery is entering its busiest period. They've been brewing sake here since 1823. Cold winter conditions are crucial for the brewers. The low temperatures prevent bacteria from growing in sake's main ingredient, rice. After being milled and washed, it is first steamed in huge quantities. The master brewer decides how long the rice stays in the steamers. To make the best sake, the grains must have a tough outer shell and a soft core. "20% of the steamed rice will be taken into a special cedar-clad room. This is the heart of the brewery and is known as the koji moro. The steamed rice has been mixed with a special mold called koji. Brewery workers must constantly massage the mix to release excess heat and prevent lumps from building up. During this essential process, enzymes break down the rice starch, transforming them into sugars. After around 2 days, the rice is separated into wooden koji boxes. Allowing the master brewer to have more control over temperature and humidity. Intricate patterns are raked by hand with as much care as a Zen gardener. This delicate approach allows the rice to dry evenly. The master brewer uses touch, smell, and taste to determine when the koji rice is just right. On his command, batches of steamed and koji rice are sent to be mixed with a unique sake yeast blend. With the main ingredients in place, fermentation begins. Yeast consumes sugars from the koji rice and produces alcohol. After sufficient fermentation has occurred, the liquid is filtered through cloth sacks. Finally, crystal clear alcohol is born. This complex brewing method is called parallel multiple fermentation. No other alcohol is produced in this way. The end product is not a beer, wine, or spirit. It's sake. On the last day of December, people gather to welcome in the new year. Throughout Japan, the ancient Buddhist ceremony, Joyano Kane, is performed as midnight looms. As the clock strikes 12, the temple's bell is struck. Worshippers line up to get a chance to usher in the new year. Striking the bell is believed to purify the soul. In all, the bell will be rung 108 times to represent the 108 worldly passions of man. Worshippers hope the sound eradicates these desires from their heart and allows the listener to start a new year with a fresh mind. Away from the celebrations, darkness has engulfed the wilds of Japan. Little stirs in the forest, and the riverside has few visitors. But as the night looms, it becomes the domain of a low-light specialist. The rare and elusive Blackston's fish owl. As its name suggests, this bird specializes in hunting fish. If the fishing is good, it will stay by the same river for its entire life. At 70 centimeters in height, it is among the largest species of owl on Earth. Its huge eyes are adapted for life in the darkness and are more than capable of spotting a fish in the shallows at night. Once a prey is identified, the owl locks on. Leaping into the air, the hunter plunges its trident-like talons into the hapless prey. The riverside meal is swallowed head first. Hunting can be a lonely job. But in the winter, romance blossoms on the riverside. This unique feeding behavior is reserved for the breeding season. During this time, the male is busy trying to impress his potential mate and will even offer up his prized catch to make a good impression. With as little as 140 Blackston owls in the whole of Japan, these nighttime dinners are crucial to their species' survival. If the female approves of her scaly gift, the couple will have a clutch of eggs at the end of the winter months. On crisp winter mornings, when there is a perfect blend of sunshine and low temperatures, a meteorological phenomenon is born. Diamond dust. These drifting ice crystals make for a fitting prelude to one of Japan's most enchanting wild performances. The winter landscape has become a stage for dancing red-crowned cranes. Despite being nearly a meter tall, with a gigantic 2.5-meter wingspan, the towering birds perform graceful courtship displays. Bowing, whirling leaps, and calling in unison are all part of a crane's dance. The elegant birds do not just perform during the breeding season, they dance year-round. Red-crowned cranes mate for life. Frequent dancing helps maintain their strong bonds throughout their relationship. These icons of Japan were thought to be completely wiped out by the end of the 1800s. Fortunately, a small remote population did survive, but by 1924, fewer than 20 cranes remained in the whole of Japan. The iconic dancing bird's very existence teetered on the edge. However, the Japanese people embraced their elegant neighbors, protecting them by law and feeding the cranes throughout the long, cold winters. Now, the population has increased to over 1,400. The graceful birds have always been a symbol of good luck and longevity in Japan. But now they also represent a conservation success story. At Japan's northernmost point, Russia's Amur River has sent a frozen gift across the Sea of Okhotsk. Drift ice. It blankets the coast of Ebashiri to as far as Kushiro. The icy expanse makes its way to Japan in January. Along with the winter drift ice, a huge bird of prey also arrives from Russia. Weighing up to 9 kilos, with a 2.5-meter wingspan, the Steller sea eagle is one of the largest and heaviest raptors in the world. They've traveled from their Russian breeding grounds to feed on Pacific cod, which are now spawning in Japan's waters. Equipped with huge talons, fish are plucked from the sea. The fishy feast can even be eaten on the fly. White-tailed sea eagles also join the banquet and use the drift ice as handy perching spots. While the ice lasts, the giant birds of prey will patrol Japan's waters. On the coast, most of Hokkaido's plants and flowers have succumbed to the winter conditions. However, beneath the surface, seaweed is thriving in the cold, nutrient-rich waters. This aquatic vegetation is called ginanso. It is at its tastiest in the winter. Harvested by local fishermen of North Hokkaido, the seaweed is prepared by hand. One by one, the hard ends of the ginanso are cut away. With a strong taste of the sea, it can be made into miso soup, sweetened in vinegar, and fried to make crispy tempura seaweed. To the east of Hokkaido rests the Akan volcanic complex. This pristine wilderness still rumbles with volcanic activity. At the park's heart is Mount Iyo. The active volcano dominates the landscape and spews steam from openings to the Earth's crust. Volcanic activity has shaped much of the region, including one of Japan's largest bodies of fresh water, Lake Kushiro. The huge expanse was created when an ancient volcano collapsed after a gigantic eruption. Winter freezes much of the Great Lake. Beneath the ice, remnants of Kushiro's volcanic past still bubble away. These hot springs are releasing methane. When the bubbles float to the surface, they get enveloped by ice. Layer upon layer form, creating a whole host of different shapes and patterns. Even in the depths of winter, Kushiro's hot springs keep segments of the lake free of ice. These areas become a refuge for whooper swans. They've flown from their breeding grounds in Russia to reach the warm spring-fueled waters. The unique ice-free stretches of Kushiro allow the swans to feed on aquatic vegetation. Without the hot springs, the whooper swans would have to migrate further to find feeding grounds. Here, they can enjoy bathing and feeding in the warm lake, sheltered from the wintry conditions. Away from the warming springs, winter is leaving its mark on Japan's landscape. When temperatures dip below zero, moisture in the air freezes to anything it touches, cloaking the forest and mountains with crystal-like icicles. This winter spectacle is called hoarfrost. While the coldest months linger on, freezing conditions take hold of much of Japan. On the border of the Yamagata and Miyagi prefectures, the Zho mountain range gives birth to its own icy wonder. Winter has blanketed the mountainous region with thick snow. Pine trees that adorn the mountainside become icy statues. Row upon row remain motionless, frozen in their wintry forms. When conditions are just right, moisture-laden winds combine with sub-zero conditions and spawned the legends of Zhao. Snow monsters. They may simply be the result of freezing weather systems, but the mutant-like formations allow imaginations to run wild. The aptly named snow monsters have become a mystical wonder of Japan's winter season, with visitors coming from around the world to see Zhao's frozen trees. Freezing conditions may produce alluring sculptures for the eye, but for the nation's wildlife, winter can become a battle for survival. The Sika deer must eke out a living on Hokkaido's snow-swept plains. They are Japan's only native species of deer and need to consume up to 5 kilos of plant matter a day. In the midst of winter, patches of grass become a commodity. Hokkaido's Sika deer migrate up to 100 kilometers to find these grazing grounds. While the winter lingers on, they will have to dig to get enough food to survive. Harsh conditions are a struggle for many, but the low temperatures offer a golden opportunity for others. In the Fukui prefecture, the small town of Imodate begins the production of a famous Japanese material. For 1,500 years, this community has been making echizen wash, a traditional type of paper. Winter is the harvest season for wash's key ingredient, mulberry. River water is at its purest with less bacteria during the cold season. After being soaked and boiled in fresh water, impurities are removed from the mulberry, naturally turning it white. Fibers from the mulberry are mixed with water and a binding agent called neri. Gently washing the mixture over a wooden screen, the mulberry begins to form into paper. Once a sheet is fully formed, it is carefully stacked and dried overnight. The final result is the famous echizen wash. This traditionally made paper was a favorite of past masters and is still adored by contemporary artists today. In the town of Gujo Hashiman, the winter has brought a chill to the Yoshida River. In the summer, the waterways are full of swimmers. But now, only the resident koi brave the chilly waters. The river may be quiet, but on dry land there is a hive of activity. colourful prints are being made in preparation for the impending spring. Intricate koi designs are etched into the stretched cotton with rice cake paste. These vibrant designs will become streamers to be flown when the winter ends and the town celebrates the start of spring. But first, the finishing touch must be added. And that means braving the freezing river. Using special brushes, the rice paste outlines can be scrubbed off to reveal the detailed designs. The cold winter water tightens the cotton fabric, increasing the vibrancy of the dye. This age-old tradition has stood the test of time, having taken place for over 430 years. As February draws to a close, warmer weather sets in and Japan's coldest season finally comes to an end. Autumn and winter sparked a transformation right across Japan, with yellows, oranges, and reds gracing the land. Wild migrators returned, and autumnal celebrations echoed across the nation. The epic Diamond Fuji beckoned the start of Japan's coldest season, and winter's icy grip transformed everything it touched, from glittering wonders to peculiar phenomena. The season brought unique challenges, but also gave birth to alluring aromas, distinctive tastes, and elegant art. Throughout Japan, autumn and winter intertwined to awaken the senses.